Acts 14:21. I'd like to read Acts 14:21. Put it up for me on the screen. Acts 14:21. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Grab it from your own Bible. Acts 14, verse 21. In Acts chapter 14, verse 21, he says, "And when they had preached the gospel to that city and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra and to Iconium and Antioch." Take note of the word, had taught many. Had taught many. That's very important, a word there. That word taught many is the Greek word matetheo. Remember, they preached. So when you preach, what you do is you give information. When you raise disciples, you don't just give information, you give education. There is a difference between giving information and giving education. In teaching, you are educating, not just informing, but educating, because in teaching, you delve into details. He is now learning, and because he is learning in so much details, so the student now is able also to teach others. So Jesus said, when you go, make disciples, and that is what we call the Great Commission. The background to this is Jesus rose from the dead, and he spent the time to do the same to his disciples. He spent the time to make disciples and educate his disciples concerning his resurrection on the way to Emmaus. Jesus met two of those disciples, and they were having a conversation. Look at Luke chapter 24, verse 25. Luke chapter 24, verse 25. "And he said unto them, O fools, slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not Christ to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself." Now observe, he called them fools. The word fools is the Greek word anoitos. A-N-O-E-T-O-S. Anoitos means not to apply your mind. Not to apply your mind. That is, you are not thinking well. You are not thinking well. He is not saying that they are foolish people. He is only saying that foolishness there is relative to the scriptures. That is, you are not thinking in line with the scriptures. You are not thinking in line with the scriptures. Observe in verse 26, it says, "Ought not Christ to have suffered," that's past tense, "to have suffered," which is past tense, and then observe, "and to enter into his glory," which is present future tense. And to enter into his glory, which is present future tense. So, suffer these things, past tense, and to enter into his glory, present future tense. Then look at verse 27. "And beginning at Moses, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself." So he explained. The word expounded there is the Greek word daimon, to interpret, whether it's a symbol, a figure of speech, a parable, or a statement. So Jesus explained the Old Testament like an interpreter. He explained the Old Testament like an interpreter. Same word Brother Paul will use for interpretation of tongues in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 30. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse number 30. Brother Paul will put it like this: "Have all the gifts of healing, do all speak with tongues, do all interpret, do all interpret." Brother Paul will use that word again in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 5. He says, "I would that you all speak with tongues, but rather that you prophesied. For greater is he that prophesieth than he that speaketh with tongues, except he interpret, that the church may receive edifying." Now, what did he call those guys on the way to Emmaus? He called them fools. Oh, or you are foolish. That means you are not thinking. The same word in Galatians chapter 3, verse 1. "O foolish Galatians, O foolish Galatians." Notice, What happened to these people that Jesus called fools and slow of heart? Observe what happened to them in Luke 24:34. Luke 24, verse number 34. Saying, and they said one to another, did not our hearts burn within us because it behooved Christ to suffer and to rise from the dead the third day? So observe, these are the things which were written in the Psalms, in the law of Moses, in the prophets,